4 weeks ago, I decided to challenge the odds and embark on a journey to complete the toughest physical challenge I ever faced in my life. From couch potato that has never run in his life to run a half marathon with only 3 weeks of training.
My legs, they are like jelly.
Today is probably the most unmotivated I've ever been since all this started. I hope everything wasn't a waste of time. Before we begin, I want to give you some context. I'm 32 and my physical capabilities have always been pretty limited. I was skinny when I was younger, and that's the reason why I skipped most of the health obligations I had for myself. Because let's face it, if you eat shit for so many years, but you keep the same weight and constitution, then obviously you start building up bad habits. That was until I got to my 30s and started an office job. Quickly I gained 5, 10, 15 kilograms, and I got injured many times due to my low physique and overweight. My waist size was 44, and I only had two options, either buy 46 inches pants or solve this problem. I decided to do two things: enroll to CrossFit 3 months ago and quit social media for 30 days starting the first week of August. And you may ask, what is social media doing here? Well, one of the worst habits I had is that after every meal, I was going straight to the couch and look at my phone for hours watching stupid things. Quitting social media gave me so much clarity and time, so I started replanning my life completely. I'm not going to explain my journey and benefits of quitting social media here, so if you're interested in the one decision that changed my life, like 360-degree change, click the video in the corner or click the link in bio once it's available. Fast forward to 29th of August, I was in Bournemouth, England, celebrating my birthday with some friends. At some point of the day, one of the group resurfaced an old conversation: the challenge to finally do a half marathon in 2023. They had the goal to do one this year, but for different circumstances, it didn't happen at the end. So this time, with motivation to change my physical shape, time, and a few beers in my body, I told them to do one on April 2023. Yes, April 2023 was the initial date to beat the 21k mark. Obviously that people knew me, and they know that I am the laziest person regarding sports, and all of them cheered and said, yes, sure, let's do it. Probably thinking, let's do this one the same as we did the 2022 one. Even one bet £100 against me. That's how bad my reputation was, that no one even believed I could do this challenge in 8 months. Imagine in 3 weeks.
He's crazy.
But let's leave that for later. First day after arriving home from Bournemouth, I bought some running shoes and started running.
Okay, and it finally starts. My first run after I don't know how many years. I'm gonna try to make it steady. Let's try to do maybe 2 kilometers, but this is up to what I can do. Okay, let's go.
That day, I only got to 1 kilometer. Yes, sad but truth, 1.11 kilometers was everything I could do that day. With mixed thoughts in my head, I call it a day. The next day, my girlfriend asked me if I wanted to join her for a park run. An event that happens every Saturday in many cities in the world, where the participants run for 5 kilometers. First thing I thought was, 5 kilometers? Are you insane? Come on, it's free, and if you can't do the whole 5k, just do as much as you can, she said. I finally agreed, but the thought of running 5k made me dizzy. Obviously, the first thing I did was run to the computer and check Google. I clicked the first video and watched it all. Wrote down all the tips until I got to the one that maybe is very familiar to you, but for me was groundbreaking.
It's literally so that you can still say a few words.
Run while being able to maintain a conversation. Okay, I will try on Saturday and see how it goes. On Saturday, I was surprised on how many people there was in the park. Nice atmosphere, and the whole area was great for running.
Okay, 3, 2, 1, Parkland.
I ran the first meters while talking with Laura, and here is the fun part. I could run while keeping a conversation, yes, but at a walking speed. Laura was barely walking fast. And after 45 minutes, I finally completed my first 5k without stopping. I know, I was running like a damn turtle, but it made me realize one thing. that I could do it. The secret sauce was the pace. That day felt amazing. Me, a couch potato finishing a 5k run? Are you serious? My overall thoughts about running changed completely that day. A roller coaster of positive motivation flooded my mind. Yes, I can definitely do 21k in 8 months. It is just 4 times more than what I did today, and I did it without any training. The first thing I did after that was to plan my trainings. I went again to Google and researched about half marathon trainings. And this was my plan. First of all, 3 running days a week, 1 short, 1 interval, and 1 long run every week until April 2023. I was cocky and I considered my first park run to be my first short run. So the next one was going to be the long run. To be honest, I couldn't wait to see what my body was capable of. So with great motivation, I decided to run 10k the 6th of September. Yes, you heard right, 10k. I downloaded an app called All Trails and trusted it to take me in a nice running journey of 11 kilometers more or less, which it didn't.
I don't really recommend this app because it took me to very narrow paths full of nettles. It is horrible.
And at kilometer 7.6, I got to a busy road without footpath.
This road is a bit dangerous, to be honest with you. That car went super
The
fast.
speed in that road was around 60 miles an hour, so I wasn't going to run there
Wow, no. I don't think I should continue this way.
and get killed. So there were 2 options, go back and find another way, or call Laura to pick me up. And well, I finally did the lazy thing.
Hola.
But again, I felt so happy with the result. The run didn't feel difficult at all. I was a bit tired, but I knew that I could achieve the 10k mark next time. That night I wanted to do more research and see if there was an earlier half marathon, maybe for October or November. And there it was. Northampton Half Marathon 2022. In 19 days. I just laughed at the idea and asked a friend, "Hey man, what do you think of the idea of me doing a half marathon in 19 days? I don't really care if I finish, I just want to try and see where I get with motivation." I don't know, I just like to challenge myself. After that, I went to Google and checked if my crazy idea was viable. How long do I need to train for a half marathon? As a first timer, 12 to 16 weeks. If you can run 5k, you can do it in 8 weeks, but it's recommended to do a 3 to 4 months training.
Nah, I don't think I can do it.
Even though it was a crazy idea, it fueled me and motivated me, so I kept increasing my goals higher and higher, and I decided to set the 7k mark as my short run goal for the week. And the following day, I was finally able to do the 10k mark. The run felt smooth but very tiring. I stopped 3 times to walk, and at the end, it took me 1 hour and 23 minutes to finish the run. My phone died at kilometer 9, so I continued recording with my Apple Watch for an extra kilometer. I was exhausted, my legs felt like jelly and my feet had painful blisters. Hey guys, wow, this one has been the toughest one ever. My feet are like jelly right now. But well, I'm proud of myself. I finally did 10k, which is what I wanted to do today. But yeah, that seems like a good level for now. What I'm gonna do right now is just do some stretching and after workout exercises, and yeah, see how it goes for the next one. The first thing I did when I arrived home was to buy some anti-blister socks and do some after run stretches. But the next morning, this happened. Okay guys, good morning. There's a bit of bad news. Today I developed a little bit of pain on top of the Achilles tendons and also in my left calf. Laura said it was expected because I've never trained like this before. But I'm hoping it's just muscle tiredness and I'm gonna be able to continue my runs tomorrow. After doing a quick consultation, she told me to stretch and don't overdo it. She did her research too and told me to follow the 10% rule, which is to increase the mileage by 10% every week. I increased to a 600% this week and ran 30.4 kilometers compared to 5 kilometers last week or 0 kilometers the week before. I didn't run for 3 days, but I had my CrossFit training on Thursday. On Saturday, I went to my second park run to try my first interval training. and to also beat my poor 49.55 minutes mark. And again, another amazing victory, from 49.55 to 36.24 in just 1 week. The idea of running a half marathon in 2 weeks' time was getting stronger and stronger. As the days passed, I completed 2 short 7-kilometer runs. One of them was rainy and cold, so I decided to leave it for the next day. And finally, the day I was waiting for arrived. That day was the last day to test myself and do the longest run possible. Why? Because I needed to taper. For those who don't know what taper means, it's the 12 to 14 days before a half marathon, where the runners need to let the body rest, trying to do less mileage in the runs. If I wanted to participate in that half marathon, today I needed to test my endurance and go all in, and do the hardest training I've ever had. The only thing was that I was a bit late, and I did the run just 10 days before the big day.
I'm 10 kilometers right now. I'm going to walk for 200 meters and do 10 more. I'm confident that I can do 10 more. I'm not that tired. Let's see.
5 minutes later.
Oh my god. 13 kilometers and I'm getting really tired right now. My legs are really tired.
So in summary, my longest run has been 13.58 kilometers. 10k of those were without any rest. I was actually pumped because that was a new record for me and I reached it in no time. After that run, I got asked how. How is it possible that all of a sudden I started to enjoy running and I'm able to run for almost 2 hours without getting bored? I actually run most of the times without music, just with my thoughts. So the secret behind all this is something called the runner's high. Runner's high is a short-lasting, deeply euphoric state following intense exercise. That's a good definition of what happens when you run for a long period of time, but for me it's more like this. It happens when you finally shut the mouth of that annoying voice in your head that reminds you constantly of how hard this is, or oh my god, my legs hurt, and finally, when that voice is gone, enjoy the run. At some point, some sort of adrenaline pump invades your body. It is a great feeling, you feel like flying, like your body energy is recharging. If you ever watched Dragon Ball, it would be like eating a magic bean. Imagine all those great feelings happening to a newbie like me. It gave me overconfidence and over-positivity. So I got carried away, arrived home and paid for the half marathon entry. Okay guys, I'm very pumped to tell you this, even though you're gonna think this guy is mad. But I'm gonna enroll to the half marathon. Okay, here it is, Northampton half marathon, 34 pounds if you're unaffiliated, so well, I am unaffiliated, unfortunately, so book your place, and okay, pay, and there you go. Gonna train so much these days, I'm gonna finish this thing. If I can do 10k without resting, I can do 21k in 3 intervals. That's what I thought. I bought those tickets without really realizing that 14k is just 2/3 of the race. That my pace was a turtle speed of 8 minutes and 15 seconds per kilometer, which if my maths are correct, would mean 2 hours and 51 minutes to get to 21k. Obviously, if I could maintain the pace. Innocent me. But well, let me enjoy my positivity for a while. After that, I went to tell Laura and also told the news to a bunch of friends.
Bebé, ¿qué me dirías si te dijera que me apunto al maratón la semana que viene?
¿Ya estamos? Que no.
Pues acabo de pagar.
And all shared the same thought. But at that point, I didn't care. Now that you understand the challenge, you probably think the same as everyone else, that I'm crazy. And that is expected. You know, sometimes you need to do something hard enough so people will laugh at you. And that is sometimes a good sign. If they laugh at you, then you know it's something worth fighting for. People laughed at Jeff Bezos for wanting to explore space.
The picture I have is that I would get in a rocket ship, go up into space and go check out a few things. Now, this is why I mentioned at the beginning, this is a very hard technical problem.
Roy Featherstone laughed at Bohemian Rhapsody and refused to release it as a single. And now, it is one of the biggest hits ever released. People called me crazy and laughed at me when I decided to travel 4 months of my own. But there I was, skinnier, tanner, and happier than ever before the day I came back. This half marathon means more than a medal. This year, sadly, hasn't been the best for me, and I felt that I couldn't achieve anything. I felt stuck, and obviously my self-confidence took a blow. I don't care what people think or laugh about. This is for me. An injury can be cured, but the mental reward will be forever with me. If I can do this, then I will be able to do anything. What's 34 pounds and 1 day of my life compared to the surge of confidence that I clearly needed? Okay, so I still had 1 week to prepare. I wanted to do at least 3 runs before marathon day, between 5k and 7k each of them, but a friend sent me a proposal that I couldn't refuse. Fancy camping this weekend? What I thought is that some hiking would be a great way to train my calves. So we packed our things and went to Worcester to have a lovely camping weekend. I quickly realized how different is having running stamina to hiking stamina, and after the weekend I was exhausted and I had some soreness the days after. I didn't feel like going on a run that day, or the day after, or the day after.
Hey guys, this week I've been a lazy to be honest with you. The start of the week after the hiking, I was tired, have a bit of soreness in my legs. Today's Friday, I should have at least done 3 runs and I haven't done none.
All that combined with the thought of what everyone told me put a lot of pressure on me. I was regretting enrolling to the event. I felt like I wasn't ready. To forget about all that and release stress, I went out and tried my last
30
run.
p.m. No excuses.
I wanted to do 5k in 30 minutes to beat my park run score of 36.24 minutes. But not only I didn't beat my score and finish at 38 minutes, I also developed again some pain in my calves. And that's because silly me, I didn't warm up. I was too frustrated with all my thoughts, so I left home without warming up. I was a bit nervous and devastated, and I kept thinking, if I can barely do 5k today, there is no way I can do 21k this Sunday. I shouldn't go. People are right, I'm gonna get badly injured. Damn, how stupid I was. I asked Laura again and she gave me a massage to release tension in my calves. Told me to not run the next day in the park run and see how the pain develops.
Okay guys, today is race day and to be honest with you, I don't feel like I'm prepared. I've just run 5 kilometers this week and as you know, I had some pain just by doing 5 kilometers, which obviously is not making me feel great about myself about doing all this. Today is probably the most unmotivated I've ever been since all this started. I hope everything wasn't a waste of time. I don't know if I should do this.
I had a shower, Laura prepared me an amazing breakfast full of protein and carbohydrates, and then we headed to the start line. When I arrived, I couldn't help myself to question all my decisions all over again. Are you for real? What are you doing here? Have you seen all those people? They look like they have been training for months. And you? Do you think that you're on par? Have you forgotten that you had a lot of pain in your calves 2 days ago just for running 5k? Man, you still have time to leave. I was so unmotivated that I didn't want to talk to the camera because I really couldn't express any positive emotion in that moment. Finally, I decided to stop listening to that voice and starting warming up. The only thing I had to do is to try. Try until I couldn't run anymore. Try until I was satisfied with the effort. At least there wouldn't be any regrets after. It's just 5 minutes to go, so we started doing some stretching with the coach. The great atmosphere started to have a great effect on me, and my mood improved. That's actually one of the big differences between running alone and doing it with a lot of people. It might sound silly, but it felt like the runner's high kicked just from the beginning. So when the race started, I went all in.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
The first 2 kilometers, I only found people passing me all the time. I was between the pacemaker 2:15 and 2:30. I needed to find someone with the same pace or a bit quicker than me. I'm not sure if it has a name. If someone knows, please leave a comment. But because I am a newbie in running, I always try to find a hook. Someone who will be my guide and I can follow so I don't slow down or go too fast. And I don't know if it was a miracle or God sent her to help me out there, but I found Laura's client in the half marathon, which luckily for me, actually so much luck, she had a pace that I could sustain. I actually started at a higher pace than my average, which is between 7:30 and 8 minutes per kilometer. That is actually the opposite of what a professional runner would recommend. They normally recommend to go a bit slower than your average pace. But with the help of my running partner and the sense of having runner's high, I sustained between 7:04 and 6:48 for the first half of the race, even reaching 6:31 at kilometer 6, which is crazy and nuts. But at kilometer 11, we reached the infamous Bragg Mills Hill.
Got to the deadly hill. Deadly hill.
The one
Alone
that
now?
people recommended me to walk. And obviously, I did.
I'm done. Yeah.
After the hill, I carried on. But I never reached that beautiful pace in the entire race. One, because I lost my partner, and second, because I also lost the runner's high. I finally reached mile 9, or a little above 14k, which was more than my longest run ever. From now on, I entered unknown territory. As you can see here, having a partner helped me be consistent in my pace. But after losing her, my pace went all over the place. Also, hitting the 14k mark had a psychological impact on me. Luckily I had some gels with me that I consumed every 45 minutes, and also a lot of spectators had gummies and even oranges.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
The water.
That boosted me for a few more kilometers. After mile 10, my legs were fucking killing me, and thoughts of giving up flooded my mind. At some point I was walking again, tired and lightheaded. My body was shutting off. And then I heard a shout from one of the spectators. Believe it or not, that shout kept me moving again for 3 more
Thank you.
kilometers.
Thanks a lot.
That's the other beautiful thing of a half marathon. The spectators are incredible and amazing. I don't think I would have been able to reach that distance if it wasn't for people cheering me up in every single corner. Kilometer 19, at that point I could feel the smell of victory.
Last 2 kilometers.
But it was the hardest because my body was
My legs.
working only with willpower.
I like jelly.
I felt like if I laid down for a second, I probably wouldn't be able to stand up. Obviously I wasn't going to give up.
Okay, let's go.
No fucking way. One of the marshals said that everything was downhill, so that cheered me up until this happened. Damn, another hill, really?
Can't run anymore.
Really? With all my energy depleted and willpower to the minimum, I walked up again. One girl passed me, and I decided to gather every bit of willpower, and also decided to reuse my first strategy to keep the same pace as her until the end. I motivated myself
I'm going all in.
over
I'm going
and
all in.
over again during that
Going
time.
all in. Come on.
Do not give up and finish this run.
Come on.
Some say that with a positive mindset, we can do anything in life. I actually had mixed feelings with that statement, but those last 2 kilometers were life-changing.
1 more fucking mile. There you go.
I was literally at the verge of passing out, but finally my inner voice was telling me,
That's it, we're there. Come on. You can do this.
and I don't really know what happened there, but it worked.
Almost there.
I kept the right pace for the last 2 kilometers, and there it was. The moment I dedicated my life to for the last 3 weeks. 21k. I've never done that, nor cycling or walking, at least not in one go. But there I was, running it. But it's not the number that counts, running day and night. The rain and the cold, the pain and the sweat that I encountered during this journey has shown me that beautiful things happen when we get out of our comfort zone. What happens when you get out of your comfort zone, out there by yourself? You realize that it's you against you. You are accountable to all your decisions, that all the outcomes are your own responsibility. You can fool anyone but yourself with your damn excuses. Running reminded me that our body and mind are capable of amazing things. Would I have ever imagined running 21k, overweight, and with only 8 runs in my record? Would I have ever imagined traveling alone for 4 months and building the most beautiful memories? Doing both things have been 2 of the happiest experiences I've ever had. But why? Why discomfort makes you so damn happy? Why run in the rain and get hurt when I can be warm in the comfort of my sofa? Why leave home and stay for 4 months in stinky hotels or even in the jungle? Because discomfort gives you confidence. Call me silly if you want, but once you overcome a challenge or difficult moment in life, that challenge becomes your baseline, your comfort zone, and a new world of possibilities open in front of you. Once you realize you can do something very difficult and challenging, your confidence goes to the roof. That's why millionaires seek risks. Not only because it gives you greater reward, but because it unlocks a new version of themselves, capable to accomplish greater and greater things.
Well done to you, sir.
And that's my reward here, not a medal. A better version of me, a happy, proud, and accomplished version of me. Thanks for watching.